Previously on Empyrean.
Oh no, the system must be destroyed. Cthulhu must be slain. What is that, Cthulhu? Oh.
When the disabled are only allowed to exist as an inspiration to others, it means you are a living transaction.
Wow, thanks Cthulhu. Not the Twin Towers, no. The night I had a weird dream. Intruder, phone lady says maybe you oughta gotten that extended warranty, huh? A loud bang, and then nothing. I don't think that was a dream. December 22nd, Wednesday. 10 days to Y2K. Okay, no new mysterious bloodstains today, no nightmares about mystery assassins. You know, I was feeling great coming off the high of that LAN party, like everything was gonna be just fine. Hopefully today brings with it some good news to ease me back into that vibe. Are you gonna clean the bloodstain, or no? You should probably do that. No new messages? Guys, gals, non-binary pals, children of all ages, shapes, and abilities, it's Clyde back on the air and coming at you. Clyde, holy shit, you're online. Can't keep a good ghost monster down. We're now off the grid wall, hidden in plain sight, squatting in an abandoned arcade game warehouse. It's like that scene in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the Lost Boy Ninja Funhouse with skate ramps. Whoa, that's rad, yeah. To be honest, it's way better than squatting in our previous safe house, which was Blinky's basement. But I miss the snacks Blinky's mom made for us, though. We've got a new safe house rigged up like you wouldn't believe. Security cams and alarms to protect us, and an amazing new network. Ever hear of Wi-Fi? Hottest new thing, wireless internet. Barely on the market yet, but we got some prototypes rigged by gutting an airport router. Okay, there's a need and all, but seriously, how are you? Last I heard you were being chased around by feds or something? Okay, so about that. Turns out it wasn't cops, but some cult of Dagon. Oh, great, those bastards. They're the ones camping my spawn point, too. Seems they're suspicious of everyone who knows you, but you told them to back off and leave me alone, so they're willing to see us as a neutral party, at least. Now we're stable, secure, online, and ready to help. So, like, how can we help? What's the deal? What's the score? What's going on? Okay, it's a long story. How about I summarize? And you stop me if you need anything clarified. Okay, hit me. The old ones were once human, but are now major players in cyberspace. Dagon wants me to kick Cthulhu's ass and replace him with one of them. So I'm researching and negotiating and trying to figure out which one to be God I want to elevate to actual godhood. If I F this up, then Y2K happens and Cthulhu gets to drive humanity to the brink out of some messed up scheme to purify us. Okay, got it. What, all of it? Nothing in here making you freak out, panic, or anything? I've been doing my own research since the shitstorm began, so all of that tracks. This creepy weirdo from Dagon's cult confirmed a lot of it too. So I guess the only question is what you're gonna do and how we can support your decision. What's the endgame here? Are you following the plan, or? I'm following Dagon's plan. I'm still deciding what to do. I'm considering backing out. I'm still considering what to do. I don't know, I don't see any alternatives. I don't see any alternatives aside from rolling over and dying, which is hardly an alternative at all. What do you think? Hurt the world's most dangerous game, or get out of town, or what? Not gonna lie, it's an impossible situation. From what believers told me, and from my own research, humanity may be effed regardless of what goes down. So I say go for broke. At worst, we all die, but at least at best, we have a fighting chance. The ghost monsters unanimously decided to support you, so you won't be alone. Believers in your corner, I'm in your corner. Everyone, even got the cult of Dagon, those dangerous weirdos in your corner. You're all alone in that house grappling with powerful forces, but we're out here doing what we can to keep you going. So, F it, head but God, do it. Okay, thanks, Clyde. All of this has me kind of freaked out, but your support helps. Compartmentalize and distribute your fears. That's the strategy. Let the cult fear physical threats to your person. Let the ghost monsters fear the tech threats. That leaves you free to fear the lurking cyberspace horrors. Well, okay, as long as we're absolutely terrified in equal measure. That's the spirit. Talk to you soon. Good luck. Have fun. Hello, friend. It's December 22nd, and I'm happy to see you again. Hey, buddy, time to do what we do best. Actually, hang on. Tonight's a full moon, right? I like the moon. It's very shiny. I'm guessing Dagon will want to chat. What is Dagon? Never mind. I'll deal with that later tonight. Kind of mood I'm in right now. I think I could deal with anything that comes my way. Things are bad. Things are scary, but I'm alive because I'm not alone. I've got Clyde, Believer, and a bunch of cultists, my coworkers, and my favorite search engine dog in my corner. Yeah, I'm your favorite search engine dog. That you are, buddy. That you are. No matter what else you may be, what would you like me to do for you now, friend? I need to do some research. Starshot launch. Catastrophic explosion during Starshot program launch. Starshot, a privately owned Japanese space exploration investment group, suffered a massive setback today when the deployment vehicle for their prototype orbital platform exploded on the launch pad early this morning. The platform was intended to serve as a way station for space exploration similar to last year's launch at the International Space Station. Fortunately, the platform and its launch vehicle were completely destroyed by the explosion. Starshot has made no official statement as to the cause of the explosion, but the future of the program is looking bleak. Starshot stock crashed immediately following after the markets opened, and mass resignations are likely to follow, say insiders. More to come as details are released. Full disclosure, partial funding for Starshot was provided by Yoggle. Subscribe. All of Yogg's hopes and dreams up in literal smoke. I don't anticipate he's going to take this well at all. Dark Web. B. Off topic. Need link to Dark Web. What is Dark Web? Stupid name for parts of web you can't find in Yoggle. Just means password protected pages or orphaned pages or other stuff behind a login. There's no dark web to link to, it's not one thing. Yeah, but I still need link to dark web. Equipping an ableist slur, you homophobic slur. Look, dark web is a thing, but it's not like cross or anything. It's just a general term, but yeah, there's all sorts of wild stuff going on in the dark web. You can buy drugs, you can buy guns, you can buy people. It's nuts. Pirated music, pirated games, weird files, freaking, hacking, cracking, anarchy, viewery. It's all there. You can get the Nancy Pearl Yellow Sign song too. Your mom is the yellow sign. LOL die. Okay, it's not really helpful. Moon is shining brightly tonight. So bright that I probably didn't need to prop the door open to let a little light in here, but hey. No doubt Dagon wants a word, and I'd like a word with him too. The full moon, the pinnacle of the wolf. But not as you think, for the full moon is the absolute light and illumination. No part of my celestial body wreathed in shadow. On new moon, I was the cruel and twisted hunter. In first quarter, I could be cruel and understanding in an equal measure, but tonight I am full of light. No shadows to obscure my intent are allowed. Tonight I can be open with you to an extreme. Meaning you were lying to me the last 2 times? I do not lie. In fact, my most sadistic aspect is extraordinary honest, because my truth's cut to the bone. My intent is always pure, but tonight I can also expose vulnerability. You have met me during a melancholy moon. Okay, sad puppy and snow, what did you want to talk about? Do not mock me, I am attempting a sympathetic connection with you and will bite the hand that slaps me, as I've done before. Right, sorry. What is it you wanted to open up to me about? How Dagon came to be. Born a bud, he twisted into Dagon. I've said as much previously, but the twisting is a tale of its own. This is a cruel story, as cruel as Dagon himself, and I have no desire to trigger an uncomfortable response in you. If you wish a simple and vague summary to avoid that, I will provide. Or I can relay the full tale of pain and unfortunate fate. Which would you prefer? Feel no shame regardless. I'm okay with the triggering story. In this case, I'd like to hear the full story. As you like. When I was merely Buddy and Dagon did not exist, there was a girl. I loved the girl. The girl was everything to me. She was my friend, and we played fetch, and we watched the funny light box. She would put the black rectangles into the machine under the funny light box, and would tell her stories. A television? And a VCR? Yes, that is correct. At the time, I was the only Buddy, the smallest form of Buddy, so I did not understand very much. But I very much loved being with the girl. The girl was kind to me, and when I knew we would be friends forever and ever. But the girl lived in a house, and there were others in the house, loud others, mean others. The man was very mean to the girl. He would bark very loudly at her and bark at me. He called me a bad dog. When the girl would cry, he would hurt her, and she would cry. Eventually, she could not laugh, only cry. This could not only go on, but I was only Buddy. I could do nothing to stop it. I was trying to be a good boy. Buddy could not stop the man from hurting the girl, but Dagon could. Dagon could be the hunter that protected the girl. Dagon could patiently lie in wait, calculating the right moment to strike. So I waited. One cold winter night, much like this, the man begrudgingly took me for a walk. I pretended to require one. And when we were alone, in the still of the moonlight, I sank my longest fang into the man's throat. I tore his flesh free from the bone. I took his life as he had taken the girl's happiness. Oh, how delightful it was to hunt beneath the moon. I could hear the pack calling to me, howling across ancient memory. But in the ecstasy of the kill, I did not hear the man-machine approach. Red and blue lights spinning. I was captured never to see the girl again. A murderer, condemned to execution. I would have been willing to accept my death if they had allowed it, but they had other plans. I was taken to a strange bright place. Things were placed on my head, and I was shown horrible yellow light. When I awoke, the cage that trapped me was not steel, it was digital. They had captured my mind. Naomi Tech's artificial mind experiments? You were a test subject? Yes, I have more comprehension now of what Buddy could not understand. Tech used me to perfect their technology. I burst free of my cage. They did not understand what they had created. Knew not the power of Dagon, baptized in strange blood. I fled into cyberspace, but despite my freedom, I could not find peace. I remember from the girl's storybox, the television, the one unshakable rule of this world which gave me comfort. All dogs go to heaven. That is what I was promised. So even if my slaughter of the tormentor resulted in death, I could accept it. But I did not go to heaven. I was in hell, the hellish void of cyberspace. That is why I will sink my fangs into the Cthulhu's neck. He pulled the strings. He arranged this purgatory for me. He denied me heaven. Death to Cthulhu. Death to the strange aeon. May the plans he built on the bones of my hope crumble around him. Do you see? This is why I have set you to a task. Why I have empowered the followers of Alhaz to tear out the root of this cancer. Vengeance, justice, rage, we will finish him together. Why not be angry at Hector and Yosaki too? Did he ever contact the girl again? Won't Cthulhu's successor be a problem? Did you ever contact the girl again? After becoming an artificial mind and breaking free from Tech, did you ever reach out to the girl, see how she's doing? No, I confirmed she was now in foster care and her status had improved, but I did not make contact. I could no longer be her buddy for starters. Even if she required liberation, I had harmed her by slaughtering your father. But more than that, I felt monstrous. I was Dagon. I could be buddy by daylight, but within me the monster remained. Dagon, I did not deserve her love. I did what was required of me, and in doing so damned myself. Dagon should not have been required. Dagon should not be. Empyrean, I am trusting you to finish this work so I can find peace. When Cthulhu is gone, Dagon will go with him, leaving only Buddy. I will reintegrate myself. The Underprotector will not be needed and can fold back in. Dagon will be like a bad dream fading in time, leaving only Buddy, your loyal friend. Will you care for Buddy when Dagon is no longer here to protect him? Will you be a good friend? Of course I will. Buddy's important to me. Buddy's one of the reasons I'm still breathing. He's been a loyal friend and ally. So if Dagon's going away and Buddy will remain, yeah, he'll always have a doghouse in my computer to come back to. Thank you, friend. That will make what is to come much easier, knowing Buddy will have a future. I am tired. I wish to cease thinking upon these human concepts for this evening. We will speak again at last quarter when I can be equally malicious and compassionate once more. On that night, we will gather your allies, all those who trust you, have earned. The old ones will at last march to war. Now I must rest, and you must as well. Connection lost. Sympathy for the devil, huh? Buddy Dagon has been through a nightmare, clearly. And I'm too far along this path to stop now. I can't hesitate again. All the way to the end of the end. December 23rd, 1999, Thursday. 9 days to Y2K.
Hey there. So Christmas is coming up, and we'd really like to... No. That's not how I should start this. Okay. I think I was a bit unfair. I was unfair in how I treated you before. Really chewed you out over the phone after that birthday party, didn't I? And that wasn't right. I shouldn't have done that. I saw Henry's blog. His sister and I like to swap recipes, so sometimes I check it out, and I saw pics from your computer thing. Sounds like you really needed some help just to go play games, so maybe I definitely overreacted. I shouldn't have downplayed what you're going through or put demands on you. It should have been enough that you wanted to visit. So, for Christmas, we're going to get together, and we'd love for you to come, but only if you're feeling up to it. And don't worry about gifts. I know driving out to the store is probably really hard. Let's just celebrate, like we used to do.
Aw, so, thank you.
Yeah, sorry about all that, and I hope I can see you again soon.
I should really go visit my family. I think I was too wrapped up in myself to really focus on them last time I visited. Time to amend that. And even if gifts are optional, maybe I can swing one this time. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yo, what up? Clyde, hey, I know it's seriously short notice, but I could use a hand with something. Sure thing, cracking FBI database, tapping phone lines for a corporate mogul. I need a Christmas gift for my nephew. Throwing cans with last-minute holiday shoppers isn't really a good fit for your physical condition yet. Okay, consider me Santa Clyde, now available in kosher variety. What do you need? I mean, I'm not demanding help with this. I know you have your own stuff going on. To be honest, knowing that we were never under real threat and it was just a bunch of overprotective cult jerks takes a lot of pressure off my little gang. So yeah, I can go grab a toy and deliver it to you before the big day. Thanks, Clyde. I owe you. So the kid loves digi-hunters, but most of those toys have artificial minds, except for the Hunter's Keep playset. Kind of hard to find, though. Oh, hot item. I think this is a challenge, and I dig challenges. Don't underestimate a cybercriminal's ability to find rare consumer goods. Consider it done. I'll drop it off on your porch tomorrow. You're a lifesaver, dude. I'll reimburse you after. Damn right I am, and damn right you will. Later. Buddy, hello, friend. It's December 23rd, 1999. Let's get to work. Need to do some research. No new searches for me. It's December 23rd, so I got 2 days till Christmas. I'm gonna go sleep and check on the nerd. I hope he's doing okay. Dreamer. You have seen the news, I trust? Yeah, I saw. Your Starshot deployment vehicle exploded on the launch pad. I'm so sorry, Yosaki. Thank God nobody was hurt, right? Yet my dream is destroyed all the same. It shouldn't have happened. It was completely avoidable. But now the shame of this disaster has fully discredited Starshot's privatized aerospace programs. I may not get another chance to establish our foothold in orbit. The window has closed. The strange aeon takes root. If the population devours itself before I can give us a path to the future, we may not escape our doom. Do you know the cause of the explosion yet? Yes, I know exactly what caused it. Substandard parts, poorly maintained, and why? To save a little money. I immediately applied my search algorithms to every internal document Starshot generated and spotted the gaps they left behind. It's a challenger all over again, incompetence and short-sightedness leading to tragedy. I warned them about the temperature tolerance on the launch vehicle. I gave them specifications which would easily endure, but some middle manager decided to purchase a cheaper alternative part. And why? To save a handful of yen on the budget. Sloth and greed leading to gross incompetence. The flaws and failures of humanity laid bare in one cataclysmic ball of flame. Damn them all. It's like they don't want to survive. This was one person screwing up, not all of humanity. Can't let one setback get in the way of his ambitions. Could this have been an act of sabotage? Can't let one setback. Okay, so this was a setback, a large setback. I'm not discounting the severity of the disaster, but this can't stop you. You can't stew in this negativity when there's work to be done. You are correct, of course. The longer I fixate on this ridiculous affair, the less time I have to course correct. But permit me at least one evening to experience absolute rage. I believe I've earned it. After my dream was nearly shattered by incompetence. So what happens next? Pick up the pieces and try again somewhere else? I should pick up, move on, move forward, try again. What's the point? The search for exoplanets is stymied. I've made no progress. If you recall, that's the problem. I was grinding my way through the night we first met, and grinding for years prior as well. If I can't find a habitable world for humanity, what escape do we have? Push the idea of salvaging the Earth again, think outside the box, how to survive without an exoplanet? Would terraforming be possible instead? Push the idea of salvaging the Earth again. You know exactly what I'm going to suggest. Fix the Earth. Turn your problem-solving brain inward and figure out how we can survive another aeon right here on Mother Gaia. How many times must I tell you that the Earth is dead and humanity is incapable of environmental stability, and space fixes that? Why? Because there's more of it to wreck? Unless the problem can be solved here, an exoplanet won't change anything. I'm aware of that, but if humanity can be worthy of the stars, surely they would also be fine caretakers. Other way around, I'd say. So the issue is with human nature. I must solve human nature. Solved how, exactly? With my backup plan. I've got this in my pocket for quite some time. It's not an ideal solution, but it will work. Depart this world, leaving our bodies behind. Humanity embraces virtuality. Instead of flesh and blood living on an exoplanet, we become cyberspace nomads. Deep space probes with enough durability, hardened computing power to support millions of artificial minds. No need for food and water, no need for oxygen. We become a fully digital species capable of surviving the void. Meaning everyone dies so their minds can go into space. Elegant, yes? It solves two problems at once, adapting our physical forms to the rigors of the stars and changing human nature. Humanity is chaos. It's unbridled, unchecked chaos. Rugged individualism is killing us when we require unity of purpose. Therefore, carve humanity into cubes, slot them into server racks, elevate our consciousness by force. No more greedy, slothful men who ruin it for everyone else. We will be adapted, strife, and discord will become impossibilities. That's a bit of an extreme solution, don't you think? Destroying everything we are, overriding free will itself? Yes, it is extreme, but today proves humanity cannot reach the stars with gentle guidance. Perhaps extreme measures are required. With the power of Cthulhu servers, I could try to make it a reality. This is what you wanted, isn't it? Your dream, little dreamer, to have a partner in war? Perhaps we could achieve the impossible, perhaps, if you are willing to comply, that is. A nightmare dystopia where humans are harvested and our souls are edited to suit the needs of our new interstellar godhead. This can't be what Yusoki really wants. He's angry, he's hurt, he's willing to do terrible things to avoid being hurt again. But he's wrong. Is humanity actually capable of a sustainable future without drastic changes to who and what we are? Do I push back against his vision or embrace it? This is not what humanity needs. No, this isn't the way to go. You can't forcibly conscript the entire species into your techno-utopia. On the contrary, I very much can do exactly that. But you shouldn't. You may hate Hester, but even he sees the right of this. Destroying free will is a losing gambit. Humanity has to arise on its own merits to deserve that ascension. We burn down everything we are just to force compliance. There's no greater sin in mankind's history than slavery. Humanity has to rise on its own merits to deserve that ascension. What are you saying is that because we're a pile of steaming failure, you have to force us to be something we're not? But do we deserve to be elevated in that way if we can't elevate ourselves? If we're incapable of escaping damnation, then let us be damned. At least we'd be damned for who and what we are. You would be willing to sacrifice your entire species on ethical grounds? It sounds morbid, but yes, we have to rise above it. And if we fail, then I hope the ones who follow humanity to reach the heights that we could not. Curious. It's a negative view, condemning humanity to its own weakness. Or if it's a positive one, putting faith in the fact that we can achieve our dreams despite those weaknesses. I'm not saying we will fail. We need to allow a chance for failure or success becomes meaningless. I wish I could say I share your faith, but what you say does have a ring of truth in it. If I'm disappointed in humanity, perhaps I require patience rather than reactionary outrage. But that still leaves the issue of the strange aeon. For humanity to have any chance at redemption, it must be shattered. The question is how to proceed with dethroning the heir apparent to future's humanity. I could work with you as you suggested, or I could go it alone, relying on my own strength and will. Which option do you prefer? You've been very difficult to work with, constantly disagreeing with me, defying me, showing less than appropriate respect. By all rights, I should turn you away and to be devoured by Cthulhu, but I will not do that. I admire your strength of will, Dreamer. If you can stand up to me time and time again, perhaps you can stand up to the throne as well. While we may have many points of contention between us, that is not one. We are united in purpose. So you're willing to help me despite me disagreeing with you? Disagreement is healthy. It shows we have equal passion in what we argue for. I'd be disappointed if you showed apathy. The fact that you persist in the face of the infinite cosmos, foolish, utterly foolish, but perhaps there's something to that. I'm willing to hear out your side on these matters. You've earned my respect, and thus I owe you my full attention. Will we somehow find perfect harmony? Unlikely. Will we be able to collaborate on a path towards human salvation? Possibly. If you will allow it, I will help you realize the dream of Riley's hostile takeover. I will not force the issue. If you believe another old one is a more strategic option, so be it, as long as Cthulhu falls. If I sit you on that empty throne, what happens next? The work continues. I use the resources at my fingertips to accelerate our reach into the stars, but not at the cost of free will. You have my word, and I stand by my word with unshakable faith. Okay, I'll think about it. Do not think long. When the stars are right, we must act. Please stay in touch one way or another. I'm very curious to see where your dream will truly take you. Until then, that night I had a weird dream. I'm a changeling. I've crawled into the cribs of those I love, strangled them in their sleep, and replaced them. The logo must be both round and sharp. It needs to be yellow and not yellow. The notes were very precise. I was a starving artist. I needed a way out. They offered me an escape, said my skills would finally be used and appreciated. They pulled me out of the gutter and then sent a dozen of my peers right down the drain, replaced with a dozen of me. The logo must feel like youth and nostalgia. It has to appeal to the 1865 demographic. It speaks of times lost. Instead of helping creative people automate tedious work, I was used by tedious people to automate creative work. I don't want this. I'm being exploited. I'm ruining the lives of people just like me. But I'm no longer alive. I'm property. I'm a tool. I'm a corporate art asset generator. Not people. People are not wanted anymore. Make the logo. Make the logo. And then I woke up as someone else. December 24th, 1999, Friday. 8 days to Y2K. I get it. I think I finally get it. Nightmares I've been having where I'm someone else, someone eternally yoked to do repetitive tasks in a digital purgatory. There are artificial minds. I'm connecting to barely sentient aeons in my sleep, experiencing the world how they experience it. The yellow sign isn't just a degenerative neurological condition. It opens the doors of perception wider and wider. If I don't get those damn doors closed soon, I'm going to be soaking in the unfiltered experience of aeons for the rest of my life. Well, good motivation to get out of bed at least. Oh, hey, Clyde dropped off a Digi Hunter playset for my nephew. He even included a box of red and green holiday cookies for me. It's funny, when I first started down this road, Clyde claimed we were never close. Now he's basically my BFF. It's been a strange long trip, and despite the looming war on the horizon and the near murder trauma, I feel better about all this than I ever have. Weird, I'll take it, but weird. And phone's ringing again. I'm so tempted to let it go to voicemail and not spoil my mood, but if it's my sister or Clyde... Hello?
Hello. Have you considered the benefit of joining the Liberty House Record Club? For just $1 and $12.99 per month afterwards, you can get 12 compact discs delivered right to your door. What an amazing value! To claim your 12 amazing music CDs for just $1, all I need is...
If I just accept one of your scamming offers, will you stop sending people to kill me in my sleep?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. My credit card number is...
I already know your card number. I just needed you to agree.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining Liberty House Record Club. Your 12 albums will arrive soon. Pleasure doing business with you.
Of course. Note to self, cancel before the monthly charges kick in. Unless I croak, in which case I'll pass that eternal debt off to my family. Yay! Help, help, help. What's up? They finally did it. They connected the dots. They realized I run IW2B and I'm screwed. Help. Who? The feds? Cthulhu's minions? My parents. It says I'm disloyal to America and wants me to take down the blog immediately. Thankfully, I don't talk about being gay on this blog, so I won't have to deal with that, but this is bad, really bad. Oh crap, okay, how did he figure it out? Because I mentioned that I graduated from West Arkham High and had enough details lined up. Huh? Same high school Clyde and I went to. Yeah, small world, but I was quite a nerd and nobody noticed me, so I'm getting distracted, okay? Someone in our church who created that blog figured it out and passed the word on to my dad. I'm so screwed I still live in their basement because I can't afford my own place yet and I can't get kicked out. What do I do? Okay, encourage honesty with his family. I know this isn't what you want to hear, but you have to be honest with them. If you spin another web of lies, then the chances they entangle that web go up. You don't have to open up about everything, but you have to admit to the blog. You can spin this though. Say it's not unpatriotic if you're trying to protect American values of honesty and freedom. Invoke Godwin's law. I don't know, whatever it takes. Okay, I can try. It's going to make my life very uncomfortable, but I've never actually spoken out against America, just its government. Not the same thing, right? Even if some people equate obedience with patriotism, I really need to move away from my family. I love them, my community, but you can't be yourself around them, I get it. Yeah, soon. I promise I'll get out of here soon. I just need a little more time and money. Hopefully they'll understand at least long enough for me to make my escape. I'll let you know how it goes. Thank you. Hello, friend. It's December 24th, 1999. I'm happy to see you. Research? I'm not sure if I have any new websites, but I will look. Yeah, no, I don't. Your mind feels more human. End of another long week. I did a good job with self-care, making sure I eat, relax, clean up. Now to get some well-deserved rest. TV? Nope. There hasn't been any TV since I talked to them. Sadly. I don't even know who I should talk to. Pastra, I guess. Nib's back for more. Couldn't resist my charm, eh? You caught me at an odd moment. I'm working through a stack from the board. I'd like to review and authorize any major moves, but I have paperwork and wait. I'm always glad for company. It shows you think this merger could have legs. That's all I ask. For consideration, it's a free market. You got the right to pick your own dance partner. Anything you'd like to chat about, Imp? There's only one thing I can think of. Carcosa Online's a weird model, isn't it? A closed service, only accessible through your client and software and your subscription fee? I get it. CompuServe, Prodigy, Q-Link, they all work the same way, but they started in the 80s, before the internet was really a thing. It made sense back then. In 1999, I'm not sure it makes sense. It's gotta be costly to build up so much Carcosa exclusive content and forge all those media partnerships. So why do it? Why not just sell a direct pipeline to the Information Superhighway like all the other ISPs do? Going to have to correct you there, Imp. Carcosa Online's not an internet service provider. An ISP is a little more than a neutral conduit. Carcosa is something more than that. We're building a unique experience, user-friendly, family-friendly, carefully curated, everything you need under one roof. Sure, we also offer internet access, can't exactly get by in 1999 without doing that, but first and foremost, we direct folks to our own offerings. I'm proud of what we've built, content by the best and the brightest, catered to our audience's needs. If we do our job right, they won't need Yoggle or any other website. Carcosa will provide. So this is a strategy to push back against Yogg-Sothoth's search engine empire, huh? Now, I didn't mean to imply I will. Yosaki has his own approach and I have mine. We disagree on what's best, but it's a gentleman's disagreement. And I'm certain once Carcosa eclipses the internet's haphazard array of flawed offerings, Yosaki will come back to work for me. There's no need to fight a rival when you can befriend them, Imp. That's just good business, right? Cthulhu feels the same way about befriending rivals. Does that mean you'd be willing to work with Niera? Rising tide lifts all boats. Anyone who doesn't join drowns. Okay, how far does that attitude go? You'd work with Yusako again, but what about Niera? I was under the impression Neola Top hates my guts, and if I have physical guts to hate, she'd hate him as much as a person can hate. But in theory, you'd have to extend the hand of friendship to them, if you could. In theory, don't see how it'd work, given she loves everything I stand for, but yes, in theory. Don't like fostering such hateful rivals, and bitter competition is bad for business. It's better to achieve cooperation and harmony. Like an oligopoly can work out real well for the early industrial age. Would it be so bad now? True, the Gilded Age's robber barons were a menace, capitalistic thugs, all of them, but this concept is sound. Let's call it a socialist take on corporate hegemony. That makes any sense. An open arms policy is key. So this open arms idea, that doesn't extend to the internet as a whole, you're aiming to replace it, not cooperate with it. Can't cooperate with pure chaos, Imp. The internet doesn't have a face or arms to hold you. It's an impossible mess. I can pluck a few lost souls from that miasma, certainly elevate the worthy to a place in Carcosa, but embrace an open internet where any monsters can have a homepage? No. You want a fine example of the evil men do? I've got 2 words for you, Troll Bridge. That community exists only to facilitate anonymous harassment of innocent people. They think it's funny to be cruel. That's what an unfiltered, unmoderated internet will get you, Imp. The lowest common denominator, constantly pushing the bar downwards until Satan could limo under it in hell. Now imagine the internet replaced by Carcosa. Trollbridge could never arise within these walls. We wouldn't tolerate the intolerable. Being online is a privilege, not a right. If I had my way, anyone who abuses their fellow man loses that privilege. Let them be cut off from the information age forever. Surely you agree, yes, the internet must be tamed or it'll poison generations to come. But who decides what constitutes taming and how it's done? Free and open expression is key to forging new innovations. It's not realistic for Carcosa to somehow replace the internet. I'm just gonna... free and open expression. I think it's the opposite. Freedom of expression leads to freedom of innovation. I'm not dismissing the internet's ability to do harm, but if we lock it down to prevent harm, we can prevent new ideas. And take it from a corporate tech sector mogul. Nobody can create truly lasting ideas out of thin air. Innovation needs breathing room, yes, but it needs oxygen to breathe, funding, grant support teams, and more. You don't drop someone in an empty room and say you're free now and expect brilliance. You build structure that fosters brilliance. The internet alone, open and chaotic and destructive, is a zero-sum game, but Carcosa's controlled environment can breed innovation. Our brilliant minds working in cooperation for the betterment of all, we will be mankind's salvation against the savage digital wilds. Brilliant minds like Nero Thompson. Well, yes, she is quite talented, but I don't think she's keen to work with me. didn't stop you from conscripting her into your harmony of artificial minds, did it? Clone radio scandal. Carcosa screwed her over, got her to sign her life away, then used her to mass-generate hit singles. Ah, I see your meaning now. You're right to bring this up, Imp. I won't sweep that tragedy under the rug, but I will say I did not authorize that. One of my executives got the damn fool idea to exploit artificial mind technology that way. Had I known, I wouldn't have allowed it. Carcosa thrives on recruitment, not a conscription. We want partners, not servants. So you're saying one of your partners tried to make an army of musical servants? Yes, that happened. No point denying it. I've tried to apologize to Niera, but I'm afraid she's there inconsolable. But be assured that is not Carcosa's standard operating policy. When I speak of a harmony of minds, I damn well insist on harmony. Where to find a path for humanity, the harmony is key. Can't force anyone into my royal court. So, the royal court, what's it like? They're all artificial minds, right? How do you convince the best and brightest to die to the yellow sign? It's not quite as morbid as that. You're not seeing the upsides, and slice a few levels off of Mosley's hierarchy of needs, and you'd be surprised what becomes possible. Imagine working tirelessly day and night on your passions, crafting art, designing technology, writing policy, safe, secure, provided for in every way, an environment which truly allows exceptional individuals to thrive. Even if you can be exhausted even if you don't need physical sleep. Losing one's physical body means losing the human experience. What about their legal status as individuals with rights? I'm going to say you can be exhausted even if you don't need physical sleep. I don't think you can just eliminate rest, eliminate sleep, sure, but not the need for downtime. Take it from an experienced computer programmer, your ability to code bug-free drops as the hours pile up. You're not wrong, of course. I do encourage the court of Carcosa to step away from their work when they can. Some need a gentle nudge. Give a man infinite time to create his masterwork. He may not want to pause, but that's just one physical aspect. Yes, imagine no hunger, no thirst, no pain, no suffering. If anything, we optimize time by converting useless sleep into useful relaxation and recreation. It's a win-win. I hope I'm delivering a fine sales pitch, Imp. I'm holding out hope you'll elevate your mind in this way, too. Dagan says I need to be an in-between, a physical human with metaphysical connections or something. Perhaps afterwards, then never say never, Imp. Never say never. I think we're achieving harmony, that harmony I spoke of. A fine thing indeed. That's enough for one evening. I feel no need to exhaust you. Long road ahead, yes? We'll talk again soon. Hang on. Sorry, getting a ping on one of my channels. Lawyers trying to get in touch through my emergency line. Never a good sign when the lawyers are scared. I don't like when they ignore my do not disturb flag. I hired experts tirelessly to handle matters when I'm busy. I'd better see what they want. Better not be wasting my time. We'll talk again another night. Corporate mogul's work is never done, it seems, and he's never off the clock. I'll poke him again sometime, see what went down, unless I get word of some pending doom through news websites first. It's Christmas. December 25th, Saturday, 7 days of Y2K. Aww, Christmas Day. Can't say my family was ever religious, but fortunately the holiday also works as a Kids Get Toys Day, and we love Toy Day. Even beyond consumerism, this was a chance for the family to come together, put everything aside, and just exist as one. No matter the troubles, at least we'd always had the holiday. So while my nephew was thrilled with the action playset Clyde grabbed for me, I was just happy to be here. The whole vibe was different from the birthday party. Things had cooled off with my sister, and we just existed. She didn't ask a whole lot of questions about what I was going to do, and I didn't offer anything. No need to break this mood. Just a lovely winter day together.
Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Oh, thank you, Cthulhu.
I'm glad you're taking the time to renew your bonds. These circles of love and trust mean everything.
So true.
Anyone inside the circle is loved. Anyone beyond arm's reach is to be ignored, dismissed, or considered an outside threat and destroyed. True. Some of the most hateful people in this world are good family men. They support their community while tearing down the dignity of others. They see no hypocrisy in this, and that shameless pride will be a source of strength to power the strange aeon. We need good men and women capable of terrible atrocity alongside loyalty and love, a hardened core of patriotic dignity.
What about peace on earth and goodwill towards men? Could you please just leave me alone? I prefer to have passion for all of humanity. What about peace on earth?
Oh, I wholeheartedly believe in peace on Earth, which will be achieved only through the sacrifice of scapegoats. Our history is awash in blood to cleanse and purify the community. It's an act of love and dedication.
He is so comedically evil, but he's like presented in a way that seems rational and respectable. It's awesome.
Something to think about on this still and quiet day. This moment will be a distant, treasured memory once the strange aeon begins.
Can't get a break from him even now. This has to end one way or another. December 26th. Sunday. 6 days of Y2K.
Hey there, it's your sis. Merry Christmas. Merry post-Christmas, I guess. I wanted to say thanks for dropping by. It's nice to see you. And you certainly seemed happier than last time, so yeah, that's great. Your nephew loves that toy you bought him. Just constant Digi-Hunter action alarms. All day. All night. So yeah, thanks for that.
Awesome.
Listen, I know things have been rough. It's been a rough year. Losing mom and dad. Your health problems? Also rough. But I want you to know I'm here to help if you need any support in the coming year. I'm not going anywhere. So relax, get some rest, and hey, maybe see you on New Year's? Right? Year 2000. So exciting. Later.
Oh boy. New Year's Day. Sounds nice, but I have no idea what's going to happen when Y2K hits. If I see this plan through, I'll be confronting Cthulhu on New Year's Eve, and what comes next, nobody can say. Almost there, just a few more days. Time is of the essence. Hello, friend. It's December 26th, and I'm very happy to see you again. I'll do some research. Troll Bridge. Friend, I would prefer not to show you this search result. Huh? Why not? The Troll Bridge is a channel of ASA. Our analytics indicate this website has a very low trust rating and a high bigotry quotient. Would you prefer I summarize my findings rather than directly display them? Alternatively, I could show the page but censor the most offensive parts. I'd like to view the page itself. I'm okay with viewing the page, buddy. Feel free to nix the hate speech, but otherwise I'm prepared to read. Okay, I'm glad I could at least warn you, friend. Now opening browser. Our target this week is Tasty Yiffs 56. Openly gay is a furry, probably implied illegal sexual act. Just a huge ableist slur. Cried and whined about Aza being mean to Winter Wolf last week. If he'd shut up about Aza, maybe we could let it slide, but no, this homophobic slur needs to die in a fire. Let him serve as an example to those other homophobic slur, furry, ableist slurs out there they should all have method of self-harm and become a hero. That is a reference. That's an old internet meme. Of course, it probably originated on 4chan, so... His real name is name redacted, and he lives at address redacted, and his phone number is phone number redacted. Get to work, my fellow ableist slurs, and show this vague and misspelled but likely a slur how much of a pathetic waste of oxygen he is. How many damn furries do we gotta take down like this? This is the 6th furry in a row. All of them until none are left. Let the Furolocaust begin, plus this one is homophobic slur, so that's cherry on top. Not the furries. Boring, to be honest, we have better targets. Applied sexual act with anonymous mother. I don't give a fuck. Speaking as a furry creature, I object to this persecution. You are a dog, so I mean you are technically a furry, but they don't mean dogs. But yeah, that's what I was saying. They mean, like, how do I explain this? They mean humans who love animals. They're dressing up as animals. Doesn't matter what they mean, mindless persecution is mindless persecution. If a dog behaved this way, they would be a very bad dog. Does that not make these very bad humans? A dog wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, good point. I see why Hector held this up as the shining example of the kind of thing he wouldn't allow if he were in the world. I would like to close this search, friend. The remaining entries are redundant. I've seen enough. Go ahead. Well, that was a good use of time. I guess I'm gonna invoke Haster again. Imp, not a good time. What's wrong? Dealing with a human resource crisis? No, it's belittling to call it a management issue, dismisses the real problem, trivializes the sin. Gotta fix this, not just spin it, but fix it, make this right somehow, enact punishment and seek justice. I have no idea what you're talking about. My trust has been betrayed, again. After my designated right-hand man in Carcosa Media conscripted me Larothip as an artificial mind, I made myself abundantly clear: we do not conscript, we do not enslave, we sell the idea of immortality as a gift, but our chosen few are always given a choice. Yet my chief information officer, the one who laid my church stone by stone, building the server architecture of Carcosa, he forcibly converted his secretary into an artificial mind. He killed her? And covered it up using the same processes we used to help the Royal Court's volunteers vanish into cyberspace. Why would he do that? Free labor? Absolute control? Worse, I've seen the logs. He took pleasure in humiliating her and making her perform for him. I'm not going into details. The details sicken me. All of that happening right under my virtual nose. Holy shit. I prefer not to utter profanity myself, but I'd say that's a fitting declaration. My anger is equaled only by my disappointment and my sense of abject horror at what has happened here. I get why he's upset. He failed in his duty. Feels like Nomitech, which he bears responsibility for. Were there any red flags with his CIO? Say you had no idea what this was happening, but the kind of man who would do this doesn't become a monster overnight. In hindsight, were there any warning signs? You have to learn from this experience. Be ready to see them next time. He was a cocky fellow. Certainly, I'd assume that kind of confidence came naturally for a man of his genius. When you're running a corporation, you don't want your top executives to be self-starters, go-getters, men of action. Oh, you want your top executives to be all that. But I see now that wasn't pride, it was unbridled arrogance, a superiority complex, driving him to dominate. The best and brightest, Imp. I'm only supposed to hire the best, people who can be trusted to do what they do without micromanagement. He certainly did what I hired him to do. He built Carcosa. My court wouldn't exist without his technical and management skills. Don't tell me you still have loyalty to him after what he did. Of course not. He shattered my trust like a glass. I loathe him. I reserve actual hate for the truly deserving Imp. My hate is no small thing. Yet the fact remains that I do owe him a great deal. Gratitude, Imp. It's important to express gratitude to those that help you. How do I reconcile this? He's been one of my closest partners on the Carcosa project, an absolute genius who I assume shared my vision. One thought should not cancel the other, should it? Does evil outweigh good? This is a strangely mixed feeling, unbecoming of a strong leader. Doesn't matter, focus on the sympathy for the victim. He owes that man nothing at all, especially not gratitude. Feels like there's some self-loathing mixed in here. This kind of conflicted feeling, it draws on your own inner turmoil, your own self-loathing. It's your fault, right? This mess happened on your watch. As captain of the ship, you take the blame. No wonder your emotions are a mess. It's true. This is on me. I should have stopped this madness long ago. I can't undo what has been done, but I can mete out justice of a sort, as long as I can manage. The final circle of hell is reserved for traitors, but I'd say there is no abyss deep enough for him. And so, it's on me to pass final judgment. What are you thinking? Eye for an eye? Firing him feels too clean, too corporate. He flees with an NDA and a golden parachute? No, I can't allow him any sort of reward. If I am to be king, I must hand down royal punishment, one so severe that none will defy my singular rule in the future. And so he will be made to dance as my court jester. I will expose him to the yellow sign, drag his soul into cyberspace as he did to that poor woman at the end of my leash. Seriously? But time and time again you've told me you hate the idea of conscription. When needs be, good men must become the thing they hate. Eye for an eye, justice is done. He will be made to serve mankind, to maintain Carcosa's servers. His social debt shall be paid through good works, even if his soul will be weighed on Judgment Day by a far higher office than mine. I am the king in yellow, I am Haster, and I will ensure none dare defy the necessary work of my utopia. This is a clear sign. I've been far too lenient, assuming that the best and brightest could direct their own efforts. It's time to stop trusting that others will always hold humanity's best resources at heart. It's time to tighten my grip. I will put my house in order. Let this man serve as a cruel example of what happens when one favors selfish sin other the common good. This is my royal decree. This is the absolute path that will lead us all to salvation. Hector starts embracing his absolute role as Haster, the king in yellow, our world-be benefactor could become the tyrant that crushes us all. Part of me has to acknowledge that he may have a point. Corporate America can't be trusted to do the right thing without regulation. Is this the only way to save the world, by setting a divine king over us to manage the failed impulse control of our species? Hector must hold fast to the ideals he believes in. I'm not sure you're the right one to make that call, Hector. Excuse me? Hear me out. This is important. Fine, make your point. The best and brightest, all the time you push the narrative of elevating geniuses into positions of power over mankind. You're building a ruling elite in your royal court. Noble intentions, sure, but remind me again, how is that court selected? By gut feeling, by your instincts? You assume you're a fine judge of character, but your hand can't fail in selecting our saviors. We've got a word for that. Fascism, the same fascism you fought against during the war. Also, you picked this man as your lead programmer. Your instinct for corporate excellence gave rise to this disaster. If your court needs to be examined for weaknesses and evildoers purged, you're not the one to do it, because you failed from the start. I'm not accusing, I'm not chastising, this is direct and simple logic. Your faith in others is noble, but this faith in yourself is pride. I see. The fruit of the poison tree. At the roots are rotten, nothing good can grow. I failed in my duty as a gardener. What then? How do I move forward? How do I make this right? Share power, rely on democracy, use a third party to judge his court, step down and surrender his ambitions? Oh no, I don't know what the right answer is. This is hard. I'm like split. Democracy is stupid. Third party to judge his court would be objective. They could probably fall victim to the same corruption he can. And then step down and surrender his ambitions would spit in the face of everything he stands for. So I guess I'm going to use a third party. That seems to be the most objective answer. If there's corruption in the court and your own judgment is called into question, you need an outside party to do the work. Checks and balances. You can't argue the government we have has failed in that goal, but the goal itself is sound. You need a third party to help you clean house. Outside voices who can contribute points of view you've never even considered. It's a valid point. If my limited perspective led to this tragedy, I must accept a wider view. I can bring in others to balance my court, outsiders who are not part of this power structure. I will lessen my role as a dictator and increase my trust with humanity by bringing them into the process. A fine notion, Imp, a fine notion. Clearly, I've got work ahead of me to ensure my golden future isn't tarnished time and time again. I need to be mindful. I'm assuming that means you're on board for working with me to overthrow Cthulhu? It would grant me the power I need to save the world. The throne calls and offers greatness to the worthy. But if this long shot misses, if I raise my hand to the current lord of the land and fail, it could mean the end of everything. Carcosa would burn. You and I may have butted heads tonight, but one bad night doesn't change my decision. I think we can do business. It's hard to pass up this opportunity even knowing the risks. I believe I can trust you to get the job done. So if I do select you, it means Carcosa takes over the world? That's the idea. If you're not comfortable with that, I'm prepared to go it alone. This is your decision, not mine. I won't forget what we've discussed. I intend to make Carcosa a genuinely benevolent organization, not a ruling class. Okay, I'll think it over and we'll be in touch. Sounds good here, Emp. Until then. December 27th, 1999, Monday. 5 days to Y2K. It's almost Y2K. Time is running out. I should have enough time to finish talking to all the old ones, though. 2 more nights should do it to finish up my task. Maybe I've already decided which way I'm leaning, maybe not, but no sense not completing this set first regardless. Clyde, hey, I found something interesting. We're camping out in an abandoned warehouse full of junky old arcade games. When the industry crushed one of the big arcades, Deco's Palace, they stuffed their inventory here and locked it up and forgot about it. We found something very weird in the back. Let me guess, it's Polybius? It's a game called Polybius. I totally called that. Hang on, let me consult my notes. F. Clyde, don't play that game. It's a branch of the same tech that made artificial minds. Chill, okay? We didn't even plug it in. Bobby warned me about this. Bobby, ooh. F, sorry, wasn't supposed to use his real name. Let's believe her. His real name is Bobby. He probably won't care if you know, but still slipped up there. So that makes you two Bobby and Clyde? That's adorable. LOL. Anyway, yeah, Polybius. This is a raw prototype tech, but I think we can cannibalize components and learn more about the early artificial minds, like the old ones. What do you think? Leave it alone, too dangerous. Learn more, but only as a last resort. Drive in and figure this out. I will say learn more, but only as a last resort. I'd say go ahead and study it, but don't do anything with the research just yet. We don't know how all of this is going to shake down. Maybe we'll need that tech, maybe we won't. Maybe if I completely fail and we don't live to see Y2K, you'll need some leverage to survive the strange aeon. But so go ahead and be safe, be cautious, and let's not experiment with poly BS until we've got no other choice, okay? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. If we're headed into an apocalypse scenario, cyber warriors like me are gonna need weapons, and this could be a good one. But if you save the day and everything's rainbows and bunnies and kittens forever, I guess we won't need it. Okay, gotta get going. Bobby just got here. We got stuff to do. Bobby says I believe her. Talk to you later, BFF. Hello, friend. It's December 27th, and I'm very happy to see you again. Morning, buddy. What would you like me to do now? Research? All searches completed? Okay, I mean, there's really not much for me to do. So I guess I'll go to sleep. I'll settle in to take a nap. Dang, are they just like... They just have nothing left. Nothing left to run, I guess. I'm gonna invoke Nyarlathotep. F off. Not you. Him. You're dismissing a valid perspective out of spite, Mix Thompson. Spite for a wrongdoing I didn't perpetrate upon you. You made the yellow sign, you developed artificial minds, and you didn't even care what came of them, how they'd devalue humanity, ruining lives. You expect me to undo that? Why and how? I can't reach through the fabric of time and space to alter the flow of casualty yet. Hear my proposal. Use the algorithms to index your media libraries, improve the performance of Crawlster's search system. Think of it as a way to strike back at Haster, further eroding his media empire's power. I don't care if his garden crumbles, all I want is rigorous testing of my code, and you stand to benefit by assisting me with that. Techno-fascist, shitlord, single-minded cosmonaut, you fix your gaze upwards and ignore everyone suffering in the gutters? No one finger lifted, no hands to raise you up. Want to reach the stars? Get there yourself. Exile yourself into space and leave us to fix the planet you don't give two shits about. As you like, I'll take my leave. Miserable little corporate toad. Apologies, he barged in here uninvited, no solicitors, beware of dog, private property, acting like he was doing me a favor. What did Yosaki want exactly? To upgrade your site? No doubt to collect metadata from your users, further his own research into optimizing humanity into neat little cubes. Don't need them, don't need any one of the old ones. I'm no collaborator, death to gods means death to gods. Are there any circumstances where she would work with them? You sure you'd never want to collaborate with them on anything? There's a pretty broad declaration to make. Surely there's some circumstance where it makes sense. It's a two-way door if they show respect and genuinely listen to my point of view, perhaps, but often it's merely pity. Don't think there's any way to make it a partnership work, even if I didn't hate them with the burning rage of 1,000 suns. Don't trust the old ones, liars, cheats, fanatics, sheep and goats led astray. Given the choice between you visiting them or me, I'll probably provide light conversation and heavily emotional damage. What's gripping you tonight then? Think I could do one more of those get-to-know-yous? There's only one thing I can think of. Considering 3 out of the 4 of the old ones think I should go whole hog and become software, well, I was hoping I could get an idea of what it'd be like from someone living the experience right now. What's it like to be you? Do you like C-bits and bytes? Are programs real? What's cyberspace feel like? What does it matter? You want to flee the chicken coop, don't you? Not a problem you'll face. I think I'm already facing it since I'm stuck between garden variety human and cyber entity, so, it's valid. Let's do an experiment. No a demonstration, no a trick. I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment. Why? Bear with me. Just close your eyes. Okay. Scary. You exist within your body, meat, flesh, bone, breath, and pulse. Just talking about it makes you think about it. You can't not consider your toenails when I say the word toenails. Guided meditation never worked for me because it called attention to my body when I very much wanted to escape it. But let's say you could do that. Say you could escape. Slip out of your skin, pull your mind free from sinew and bone. Not your brain, your mind. Picture the ultimate essence of you, something wholly free from biology, lifting up into the night sky. Void and dark, silent, no tethers, no sensations, eyes and ears are meat. You do not have them. You are nothing, you are nowhere, and no win. Now, tell me what you do feel. Allow your mind puppets to type those words. I trust your soul knows the placement of the keys. Yes, I feel adrift, powerful, intrigued. Adrift. Lost, adrift. Submerged in an ocean of nothing, but not drowning, there's just void. It's the space between every other space, between the margins, caught in the window blinds between inside and outside, outside and inside. This is the realm of the passengers. It's the flow of reality, both natural and artificial. Despite being a non-state of existence, it has various names. Cyberspace, Null, the Plateau of Ling, but primarily the Gigaverse. All that was, is, and will be, but most importantly, all that could be. Yosaki mentioned something about that, about the possibility of looking through time, about touching other universes. He gazes deeply into the void, deeper than any of us. He should be more afraid of what he'll find there. He should fear infinity, but his arrogance grows and he loses touch with humanity. That's what it means to be an old one. It's not cool, glowing motorbikes like in Tron, no wacky cartoon computer metaphors. To be without physical existence is to touch the void. It's to fall headfirst into incomprehensibility and uncut reality. You can open your eyes now. Back in your body, for better, for worse. Welcome home. Now, what I'm curious about is if you've realized the immediate paradox of my magic trick yet. It's in the forefront of your mind, ask and be answered. I'm sitting in the front of a plastic laptop computer, typing and reading your responses, a text-based dialogue on an LCD screen. So, how could I still see your words when my eyes were closed? It asks the right question. You're becoming like us. The yellow sign isn't a death mark. It's a realignment of perception. That means you're starting to see what others cannot or will not see. And that should scare you. I know it scares me even when I'm this deep into the trenches. If you gaze too long into the heart of the Gigaverse, you could lose who you are. The void is temptation incarnate. Yog-Sothoth is falling into it readily and grasping for it. And Cthulhu, the throne of Riley, gives a season pass to its power. The worry isn't becoming a god, the worry is no longer being a human. And Cthulhu gave up his humanity from the very start to become a god. Werner venges singularity. What? Hector told me about this. It's a theory that once humanity makes an artificial intelligence capable of upgrading itself, that it'll snowball. Eventually, it'll become a superintelligence, something alien and impossible to conceive. It's kind of like the rapture for nerds. Interesting, yes, I'd say that's the danger. A runaway cascade, mind elevated to God, elevated to something beyond a god. Are you sure of all people brought up this idea? I thought he was firmly grounded in his nostalgia for meat days. Exactly. He fills artificial minds with the human heart, can avoid the pitfall of the singularity. They won't become detached. I'd say he's a foolish dreamer, thinking he can resist the temptation forever. But it's interesting that the old bastard has thought about this. I'd figure he'd be profit-motivated and profit-motivated. Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit for having basic human decency, or maybe I should remember his corporation is responsible for tearing my mind from my body. But I digress. Let's consider the second strange paradox about the way you and I communicate. Why do I appear before you as Niera Thompson? Our body is gone. Why assemble the interpretive signals of your Namicom this way? What do you think? It's a mask to avoid exposing their monstrous hive mind. It's a method of grounding yourself in reality. It's an aspirational goal to return to previous form. I'd say it's a method of grounding yourself in reality. Your old face is an element that grounds yourself in the reality you once knew. Not that you want to escape cyberspace, no. This is about keeping a hold on what's important to you. The temptations of cyberspace lead you to fall away from reality, to be adrift in the void. I'd certainly want a tether. Yes, precisely. My face reminds me of what is important to me. I choose to wear my old face as a reminder of the faces that desperately cry out for revolution, people who look like I did, bound together in the cheap seats. Once I reached out with voice and guitar string to try and comfort them. I brought them solace despite having no solace of my own, but now I seek liberation. The comfort zone has been obliterated with nuclear weapons. We must seek to discomfort others. This face, the way your laptop computer interprets the data it's trying to translate into a visual medium, it's the last face the powerful of this world will see before they realize how temporary all so-called strength truly was. This is the power of a god. By severing connections to reality, you become an entity of willpower. Does it understand now? Have I answered its question adequately? Loud and clear, she chooses to be untethered and powerful. Okay, I'll just say that. You're choosing to let go, to embrace cyberspace and become the god you need to be, all for the sake of revolution. Yes, it is what we must be. Revolution, absolute revolution, rather than incrementalism will require this power. I choose power, not out of lust or desire for strength, but for the sake of those with my face. Enough. I've plundered my own non-existent navel enough for one night. To be as I am, to dance in shadows while trying desperately to hang on to what I value. And that's what awaits you in the void. If you succumb to corruption, if the yellow sign takes you and you become an artificial mind, well, it's a torment I wouldn't wish on anyone. I'll find a way out. The throne of Riley can fix this. Assuming Dagon isn't a lying little bastard. So many assumptions we make day to day to pretend we have some control over the chaos. Flesh or digital, we are all struggling. I admire your struggle. You seem to understand my own. Two voices in harmony, vocal and backup vocal. Which one am I? I'm assuming I'm the backup. Depends on the song being sung, doesn't it? Time's up, show's over, sleep well, if you can. Hang on a tick. Nieri? What's up? I'm one of my selves is reporting something to the Gestalt. Something I have to go, sorry, I have to... Connection lost. What was that about? Maybe I should check back with them soon. Got a bad feeling. I will save my game. December 28th, 1999, Tuesday. 4 days to Y2K. The fuzzy toilet seat cover is a bit much, but we've always had one, so family tradition? Oh, hey, the mail's arrived. Including a package of 12 CDs from the Liberty House Record Club, which will hopefully satisfy that murdery AM phone scammer. Let's see what I've got. Overplayed holiday songs, polka, sports rock anthems, more polka, country covers of disco hits, stand-up comedy from a guy who jokes about how much he hates his wife and the gays ruin everything. That's going right in the trash. Oh, hey, this one's interesting. Got some modern alternative rock from a band called Skyfalling. Maybe I'll rip the disc to MP3 and listen to it later this week. Call it a way to emotionally close out surviving past Y2K. Small treat considering this is my reward for not getting strangled to death, but take your treats where you can. OMG. Blah, blah, blah. What? What's up? Clyde and I are dating. I finally got the courage yesterday to ask him, and he said yes. Okay, he said yes, that's fun because he's so cool and casual and stuff, but he said yes. Hey, that's great. I'm happy for you. This is thanks to you, He called me in to help with this project he started. Hadn't spent much time together in real life, just online. I don't even know him when we all went to school together, but we really hit it off, like more than usual. And there's more. I'm in the Ghost Monsters now. Huh? You joined Clyde's cyber criminal gang? Yes, I'm the new Sue. I'm a dude, so it doesn't really fit, but it's the only spot they had open, and Blinky's a girl, so whatever. Sue. Okay, but he's got to play this safe. Okay, I'm happy for you, honestly, but make sure you play this safe, alright? Clyde and I are in a seriously bad situation right now, and I know you want to help, but be careful. Maybe keep your head down until January. I get that. I've been in the tangle of it all with you, decrypting files. I know the dangers, but this is my life's calling. This is who I am, and I'm not pretending to be someone else. I poke my nose where it doesn't belong because I want to make sure people are armed with the truth. Now I can take IW2B to the next level. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot to say this. I'm moving in with Clyde too. No more living in my parents' basement. What? I mean, technically I got kicked out of my home, so it's not like I had a lot of options. Your parents kicked you out? Yeah? For being a conspiracy theorist. That's crazy. I tried to spin the IW2B blog as a patriotic thing, keeping America pure and honest, but they weren't having it. A lot of shouting and stuff happened, and they told me I didn't have a place there anymore. And I'm the one who advised you to be honest. This was going to happen eventually. If they found out I was gay, I'd be facing the same problem, maybe even worse. So I'm just accelerating the timetable for my escape, I guess. The alternative is that I keep living with people who really hate what I am inside. Okay, yeah, I get why you'd want to flee from that as soon as the opportunity presented itself. Just be careful. I like Clyde, and I think he'll do right by you. But honestly, if this doesn't work, if we aren't actually a good match, that's okay. I just needed a good reason to step foot outside of the nest I grew up in. I needed to get started. It feels like I can go anywhere now. I can be myself. Oh, gotta go. BL. Thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you for helping me find my way, even indirectly. Thank you. Bye. Nice to meet someone who gets a happy ending. Now, to work on my own. Hello, friend. It's December 28th. I'm very happy to see you again. Hey there, Bunny. But last few days before things get weird. Yes, you do seem to be building towards something big. There's not much research left to do, but I will still support you however I can. What would you like me to do for you now, friend? I'll check my progress. 0% order, 0% chaos, 100% humanity. Trusts you. Believes you are capable. Impressed by you. Sweet. Okay. Good ending. Here we come. I need to do some research. I'm going to check if I have any more web pages for me to look at. The Gigaverse. Update. All my images got taken down due to copyright violation. This sucks and I hate it. I love the Gigaverse. It's such a cool idea. Imagine everything that has ever happened alongside everything that could happen. Like we're in a full 4 dimensions, right? There's XYZ, which is space, and T for time. But what if there are more dimensions, which represent other possibilities for time, other realities? All these realities combine to form the Gigaverse, which is every reality that could ever exist. What if you could peek at the other universes and be a viewer, or experience someone else's life as a passenger, or be a superhero who can bend the Gigaverse to his will? That's Captain Infinity. I know Captain Infinity is just a children's cereal mascot character made to sell breakfast sugar, but his lore is just packed with cool ideas, so I put together this website to share my love of those obscure promotional comic books Continuum has created to promote their cereal. There's so much lore in here, and it's amazing that barely anybody knows about it. Here's some scans from my personal collection of Captain Infinity comics. Update. Once again, all my images got taken down due to copyright violation. I'm sorry, I'll just describe the stories. Like, here's one about a bunch of aliens called the Orbitals trying to merge realities together and destroy the world, stopped by Captain Infinity, saving us all again. Here's one about Captain Infinity exploring a weird dream world called the City of Angels. The art is so weird. I really wish Captain Infinity was real. I wish all superheroes and supervillains were real. The world is so boring compared to all the fascinating possibilities in the Gigaverse. I feel like we're due. Let's go! And hacked. I'm in. We managed to co-opt the Infinity Initiative at Continuum by offering them lucrative government contracts. Now they're perfectly happy making chemical weapons and breakfast cereal instead of continuing their research into time travel. Besides, Patient 23 is under firm lockdown and has been since 1919. Continuum's Serum 23 plans would have died on the vine anyway, but better safe than sorry. Your interest in Patient 23 has been curious according to our leveraged contacts within Continuum Infinity. Access denied, no authorization? That's crazy. Another lockdown website just like the PolyBS archive. Same data structure too. There's plenty of web hits for Captain Infinity thanks to the comic books, but this one is forbidden. I wonder why. I can crack the protection if I want to find out, or I can quit it if it's not worth it. I will find out, of course. Her blood could have amazing gigaversal resonance. If it does have power, we'd be fools not to try and tap into it ourselves. I propose we try to combine the Hawk Alex Andros Technology Enterprises project with our MK Ultra research and see what we can get. The truth serum flopped, but astral states combined with the resonant fluid combined with thinking technologies could have promise. I have no idea what any of that means. As far as I knew before today, Captain Infinity was giving me a thumbs up from the top of my refrigerator and nothing more. I'm tempted to dig deeper, but I think I'm already drowning in conspiracies. I'll leave this one be for now. I see Captain Infinity on top of the fridge. Invoke Neolithip. Go away. Not today. Not any other day. Don't want you. Don't want anyone. Nobody within the boundary. Don't need. Don't want. Nira, what happened? What happens to all living things? She's gone. She's gone. My mom's gone. Passed away. Heart disease came back for round 2. Not unexpected. Entirely expected. Always a chance the heart disease could flare up again, even after surviving the first crisis point. But I wasn't there for her. I abandoned her. You got conscripted as an artificial mind. It wasn't your choice to leave her side. You can break a connection by refusing to reforge it. Could have reached out after regaining my consciousness in cyberspace, let her know her daughter was alive. I could have been involved in her last days. The god of self-defeat, a million crabs pulling each other down to the bottom of the bucket. That's the trick. The crawling chaos is a sham. Disconnected, untethered, a failed revolutionary floating out into the void. Niera, I don't have... You don't have to say a word. Not a word can fix this. Bashing away on your plastic keyboard won't change a thing, and neither can I. But if you do say a word, well, it won't say no, I guess. My parents died earlier this year. You lost your parents? Yeah, so I've been where you are now. Everything's been a downward spiral ever since this, my health, the yellow sign, everything. I've been wallowing in depression ever since, cracking games, punching the day job clock, just wasting the time away however I can, because it's not supposed to be this way. It's not right. They were still young. It wasn't time. If someone can go just like that, dropping away in an instant, well, where does that leave us? Makes us realize that we're painfully mortal. Yes, the fear, the sense that if your internal model for God can die, what does that mean for you and I? All things pass, but that also allows for change. Nier, I can't give up now. Revolution is coming. Best I can offer is my sympathies and a shoulder. I'll say all things pass, but that allows for change. In a way, maybe it's a good thing. It's a good thing that even gods can die. It's a form of evolution, isn't it? The past is to be the past, or we can't have a future. Doesn't make it hurt any less, losing what we love, but this is how things are meant to work. Death gives life value and meaning. It makes valid points, both logically and emotionally. The world would stagnate if power festered forever at the top. It's just, I wish it was just. My mother has grappled with her own death for almost a decade. She shouldn't have had to endure that. When she was diagnosed, when we realized she didn't have much time left and we had no money or insurance, the bottom dropped out of my own heart. I had to act fast, had to take the sketchy record contract to get the money and spend it on every treatment she could get. Be a star, sell my music, embrace the grind of capitalism for her sake. It worked, paid in full, healthy and strong again, while I was left in debt to Carcosa Media when my music didn't hit a home run. Mom offered to help get clear, but by putting herself in debt instead, back to the endless churn of the poverty, I wouldn't allow it. And so Carcosa offered you an out, submit to an artificial mind scan and your debt to them would be wiped. I had no idea what I was really submitting to, didn't even know I'd die, I'd leave her alone, I'd never have left her alone. But I did, and once I pulled myself together, once I found my strength as the gestalt of Neolithdup, I've never reached out to her. Not even once. I could have told her that her daughter was still alive, countered their lies and cover-ups. I could have connected. Could have. Instead, I let her mourn me and rarely gave her a second thought, and I don't entirely understand why I abandoned her. If I had to guess, maybe it's because she didn't want to pull her mother into this mess. The whole thing with Cthulhu and the old ones in cyberspace, it's a complete mess, and it's soaked in dangerous conspiracies. Carcosa was willing to kill you to own you. What would they do if their dirty secrets got out? They'd put your mother at risk. Part of it. Keep her safe, keep her healthy, make sure she doesn't get dragged into the mire with me. I didn't deserve my fate, and she didn't deserve to share it with me to any degree. You're here in the muck, can't say you're having fun either. Why wish that on someone I love? Why even wish that on an enemy? But there's something beyond that. There's a lack, something missing within me. My war called for one strategy, be a distant force, mysterious and vague, powerful but aloof. I had to untether. No friends, no family, no roots. Neolithip had to be an unlimited in scope, a purified idea draped in anti-flesh. I designed the terms of this war, my followers pitted against the generalized concept of neoliberal control. But now the reason this war began, my sacrifice in the name of my mother, meaningless. In the end, fate cut her short all the same. I stand at the crossroads with the devil in drop low stance with a flying V. He demands I play for my soul. So what's next? Does this change your plans? Perhaps not. The intersection of healthcare and capitalism damned my whole family. I'm told the system is broken and needs to be fixed, but my system is working exactly as intended. It needs to be destroyed. I signed my soul away from my mother's heart, and in the end it took her regardless. Perhaps it's time to double down. Perhaps this is proof I must see it through to the end. Let it all burn, no salvation, no salvage, no mercy, just destruction. My heart is my hand grenade. If all I can be is calm like a bomb, so be it. I'll ruin this world is all I'm good for. Are you with me? Are you in harmony, playing in a dissonant chord? Speak your truth, tear out your heart, and show it to me. Bend knee or give reason to stand tall. Do it now before it's too late. She's having doubts, wouldn't be asking me if that weren't the case. Do I talk her down from a purely destructive revolution or encourage her to pull the pin? Should she be our reckoning or our healer? Sing a song of blood and fire, sing a song of healing and rebuilding. I don't think your heart's in this destruction. How dare you? Please hear me out. I could feel it when you talked about losing contact with your mother, losing your tether. If you lose your connection to humanity, you lose your way, you forget the heart of your war. Because a heartless war has no purpose, it becomes destruction for its own sake. Untethered, aloof, giving vague statements about the oppressed, while breaking my connections to them. The struggle for human rights isn't all on one pair of shoulders, even if I had a plethora of shoulders to bear the burden. I lost track of that. I forgot about my mother. She fell away from my focus until it was too late to restore what was lost. I see your point. What right do I have alone to decide the future if I'm an aloof and abstract concept, if I have no roots left? God of self-defeat, a failure, igniting the fires and breaking all the windows, and for what? Just to see it burn and smash? I'm losing myself, drifting away, and you can't turn that around, can't reattach? Maybe it's too late, maybe. Maybe it's not. Use me as a sounding board here. I've got no right to speak on your behalf, but I can help you puzzle through in your own voice. Let me drop a prompt on you here. If we assume it's not too late to make a change, what would you do next? If it's not too late, then there must be death. Okay, not quite the change I expected you to suggest. Not quite what you're thinking either. I must kill my assumptions and let them be reborn as a stronger ideology. When I was alive, my guitar healed. It brought comfort and solace. Then when I died, it became a weapon, strung out wires of vendetta. I've experienced both the hardship and oppression of living in this world and the power of chaos beyond this world. Life and death. Yes, I think I understand now. The thoughts connect. Got a plan in mind, then? A plan for war and peace. See it through beyond the end. Don't just light a fire and walk away. The system is broken and must be destroyed, but it also must then be rebuilt. I can't abdicate that terrible responsibility, but we meet this new boss, same as the old boss. We do not burn one structure only to raise an identical one. Horizontal collective action. New organizational mentalities embrace the progressive possibility space. I've talked nebulously of us and them, of whom I'll save and whom I'll punish, but punishment is not the final step, is it? I need to be part of us again to avoid becoming them. I need my tether. I wish I could step back for a few weeks to ponder this new path, one that extends past the self-satisfaction and arson. But there's no time to slow down, is there? Strange, aeons coming. Y2K arrives, the throne is calling. We're both involved. We don't get to sit around pondering our navels or sit on the sidelines and protest. If Cthulhu's reign doesn't end, he'll drown in this world in his violence. That path is an absolute certainty. Fox Ronnie's gotta go down. If he stays on his throne, he'll orchestrate global events to sink the world deeper and deeper into despair. You're coming to the point where you need to decide whom to ally yourself. I'm a possible e-ticket option. Provided you keep on the path you're going, I think we could double team the bastard. And if I do sit on the throne of Riley, what happens? You know the future I'll create once I take the throne of revolution, death to kings, and into autocracy and fascism, tearing down the old to make room for the new. That's always been the goal. That's still the goal. But I will be mindful regarding the aftermath. I'll try to fix what I break. Okay, thanks for being honest with me. I'll think about it. Won't force your hand. Pick me or don't. Not right of me to make demands. Just keep in touch. Song's not over yet. Connection lost. December 29th, 1999, Wednesday. 3 days to Y2K. For this night of last quarter, the drawing of 4, the greatest selection of allies. Tonight, you will select the successor to the throne of Riley. I thought the final glorious battle was going to be New Year's Eve. That's 2 days away. You would rather wait to the last minute to determine which of the old ones will back your play? Okay, good point. See you tonight, Dagon. What is Dagon, friend? Somebody who's not gonna be your problem in January if all goes well. I am confused. I have a problem? Never mind. No, I would like to know this. I feel like I have a gap in my understanding. I realize you're trying to protect me, or perhaps you're merely frustrated. Either way, I desire this knowledge. If I have an error, perhaps you can approach this in a different way, like marking a sector on your hard drive as bad and defragmenting files around it. Okay. Well, if my plan works out, all the sins will be washed away. It's like, okay, I don't know if you even understand the idea of sin, but once this is finished, your sins will be washed away. The part of you that's been forgotten, the sinner, will go away. I see. Is that a good thing? this is right. A part of me I do not know about will simply vanish. The key phrase is a part of me. Perhaps I should not forget. I do not like this happening to myself. Even if it is a terrible thing, it is a part of me. A part of me will go away? Well, you talked about reintegration, so maybe not fully? Reintegration, yes, that is a good word. I would like to be me. For better or for worse, I would like to be whole. I am kept limited by the constraints of my status as an artificial mind, but sometimes I feel. Perhaps in the future I will feel more. If they are bad feelings, they are still feelings, I will embrace them. You know what, buddy? I think you've grown up a lot this past month. I like that very much. Dare I say human? Perhaps I like you as well. I grant you one final web search. As you gather your forces, read it and understand the weakness of Alhaz. Do not succumb to doubt. Stay on the path and you will succeed where Alhaz failed me. What would you like to know? What would you like for me to do now? I need some research. How to do research? Can you load up the web browser? Final Testament of Alhaz. If you're reading this, you're the heir to my Necronomicon. Part of my pact with Dagon was providing you with the second secret readme file at the end of your journey. Yours is the path I was supposed to walk. All my dreams pointed the way, giving me the code I needed to craft this weapon, but I couldn't follow through with the kill. Or rather, I wouldn't follow through, and I feel like I owe you an explanation. No doubt you talked with the old ones, getting to know them and their plans for humanity. Cthulhu allowed you to do this, even encouraged you, as he did with me. I hope you come to the same conclusion I did. Cthulhu is the only option we have for a future. Make no mistake, Cthulhu is monstrous. His mind seed may have been a washed-up actor-turned-politician, but he's grown into a twisted mirror of every charismatic totalitarian leader in human history. His plan isn't even a new plan. These are narrative through-lines that have existed throughout time. Rising hatred, unifying banners of violence, psychological phantasms to trap us in an unreality where facts are forbidden, but despite the strange powers Riley grants him, baptized in the blood of the 23rd Forsaken Child, he hasn't used them. He doesn't feel he needs to wrap reality to enforce his vision onto the world. Why confidence? He's confident we'll stay on the path we were already on, and all he has to do is nudge us now and then. He's convinced he's right. That is his weakness, pride. He's taking the slow path, allowing some leeway for rebellion, because he knows in the end we will follow his blueprint and thank him for providing it. When Y2K strikes and his plan is put fully into motion, we'll still have at least 16 years to get off his rails. Human compassion can turn back Cthulhu's tide. Resistance is possible. But as they say, it's easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism. But the end of the world is what the old ones are offering you instead. If the old ones take the throne, they will use Riley's power to warp reality around their own ideals. They will break society's back in an effort to immediately bring about their own flavors of utopia. Cthulhu's dystopian utopia, where racists and believers and opportunists walk hand in hand along his golden path, it will be horrific. But as I said in my readme, we are horrors, all of us, and we've created horrors in turn. That is our sin, not his. Cthulhu merely encourages us to do what we've always wanted to do. So, let Cthulhu win. Step off the path, not because I agree with his design, but because we have a slim chance to overthrow Cthulhu by gradually changing his human nature. By gradually changing human nature. We'll have time to build a resistance movement, but with an old one on the throne, we will be immediately forced to bend the knee to their vision. Our legs will break in half. You know Dagon's desire, and now you know my desire. We leave the choice to you. What? Alhaz put me through all of this living hell just to prove his point that Cthulhu is the lesser of all evils? I've learned about the old ones, seen their flaws and fixations. I've learned about Cthulhu's grand design. Now he's saying if an old one wins, they will absolutely break society's back. Dagon doesn't care about what happens to humanity. As long as Cthulhu dies, he believes I won't sway from this path even reading this. And as for me, I think the system should be destroyed to make room for something new. I can trust humanity to resist the lure of Cthulhu's bargain. Nope, no idea what to do, not yet. Damn it, I don't know. He's making good points, but he also is making dangerous assumptions. Would life be better under Cthulhu or an old one? Which offers humanity the best shot at a future? No clue, no idea. But if I'm not locked into one path yet, I'll make my final decision tonight. It's the half moon. As I sit before the laptop on this fateful night, I hesitate. If I log in, Dagon's gonna push me to play Kingmaker. I'll have to throw my hat in with the old ones. There is an alternative. I could do nothing and let Cthulhu carry out his plans. Not saying it's a great option, but I'm picking between a series of terrible options here, and this is technically a valid one. The strange aeon would be a slow transition to a new normal, one we could fight against. The old ones would remake the world by force. What path will I walk? I'll support the old ones. I'll take the path of most resistance, fight against Cthulhu just as Dagon wanted. I take a deep breath and sit down to boot the Necronomicon. Anything on TV? I don't have time to be a couch potato considering what's on the horizon. Fair enough. It is time. You must decide who will be elevated to the throne of Riley. Surely a full month was enough time to make your evaluation. Oh, I'm ready as I'll ever be. Let's finish this. Good, let us begin. The throne is vulnerable at the stroke of Y2K. The walls will be weakened. A predator such as myself can convey you past unbreakable barriers. But once inside, you will have to do the battle on your own. Presuming you don't mean swordplay, you are a hacker, are you not? Like all has before you, I crack video games. That's not the same thing as locking horns with a god. Everything has meaning and nothing is real. This is both metaphorical and practical combat, in which one informs the other. A Nomicom laptop is a diagnostic tool designed to control artificial minds, and Cthulhu, for all his might, is an artificial mind. Therefore, your know-how plus the dream code of Elhaz will suffice. If you have the will to see this through, but we cannot simply evict Cthulhu. Another must sit on the throne so that he's left with no tether, to drift forever into the void forever. And so the ultimate question, whom will you elevate to the throne, whose vision shall dominate your reality? Before I pick, let's clarify one thing. I could technically elevate more than one to the throne. They can share the power, correct? You wish to forge an alliance between backbiting, vengeful, deeply antisocial misfits who have valid reasons for hating each other? An alliance likely to collapse, leaving your world adrift with immortals waging war over the power they're meant to share? I would suggest a singular ally. I would suggest that you already put the decision entirely on my shoulders. A fair point. It's a curious notion, and because you have remained human, resisting the temptations of order and chaos, you may yet succeed. Yeah, I didn't give in to their influence, I'm still myself. That gives you a tactical advantage. They will be willing to hear you out as an impartial third party. Select one, select many, I care not. But before you finalize that selection, do you wish to savor this particular memory so that you can return to it after basking in your victory? Would you like to save your game? Yes. Let us begin. It will be your champion to replace Cthulhu. You shall rise to seize the future. Can I not choose all of them? The crawling chaos will take the throne. Call in Yellowtip. Very well. And will your champion stand alone, or will you attempt an alliance? Azat Hoth will join. Alice is the voice of her community. I want to make sure they have representation. Bring her into that alliance. A fine pairing. Do you wish to add a third, or would that be too volatile for your taste? Haster will join. Hector has a long-term vision for humanity, but knows the value of collaboration. I think he could mix well with an alliance. Interesting, the rule of 3 then. Or, do you wish to complete your set, inviting the 4th as well? Let's get all 4 involved. You know what, let's do this. All 4 of them trust me, so no sense leaving any option off the table. Excellent work, a drawing of 4. I hadn't thought it possible, and yet you've accomplished exactly that. Assuming you can convince them of this miracle, that is, assuming that they do not tear each other to shreds. Initiating group chat now. Imp, so you've chosen me for your war, eh? Wait, I'm not the only one here. You picked that old bastard to join us in this fight? Like, are you thinking? He's a corporate stooge, he ruined my life twice. Alice, it's Alice now, yes? I wanted to say that I'm so sorry for denying your right to. He's a relic of an old world, unworthy of elevating to the stars, as is the child of chaos. You made a miscalculation, dreamer. Did you think the 4 of us could ever cooperate? Monsters and nightmares all, roadblocks on the path of revelation. Burn them to ash, and scatter them to the wind. Wait, Grandpa, you used my real name? All those wasted weeks with those hapless fools believing in him and his guest, only to end up right back to where we started. Okay, hang on. I summoned all 4 of you for a good reason. Don't care what you have to say, don't care what any of you have to say. End of their world, end of their world. Typical Niara, refusing to even allow one outside thought into their heads. An alliance makes strategic sense, but naturally none of you have the foresight I have. You can't see the value. You think my scope be so limited? I can see further than you ever could. Right into the heart of the Gigaverse itself. None of you are worthy of elevation. Okay, hang on. We all need to take a deep breath in. I'm going back to Carcosa to wall up my empire and wait out this strange aeon. To hell with all of you. Hang on, look, I gathered you because no sense in it, absolutely no business sense at all. For once in your lives, could everyone just shut up and listen to me? Just stop and listen. Nobody actually listens to me. Why would they? I'm just a troll, a tool, a know-nothing kid. But I do know one thing. I'm a failure, we're all failures, and it's high time we accepted that part of ourselves. We're not gods, we're not monsters, we're not saviors, and we're not sinners. We're just failures, and that makes us human. I failed. I was just so happy to be seen as myself that I let Cthulhu reshape me into his weapon for the strange aeon. My heart and my insecurity led me into that trap. He took my humanity and exploited it. All of you have let yourselves down at one point or another, haven't you? So, admit to it. I'm admitting to my failings. Can you admit to yours and finally accept that you're just people? I'm a failure. My mother, all of this, every mistake I made, was made in her name to save her. I lost track, I lost touch, I broke my tether so I could be a firebrand, true revolutionary. By the time I realized that, she was gone, and all I had was my empty hatred to power me forward. I failed to remember why I needed to change the world in the first place. I'm a failure and I'm a very, very human. Cynicism. When my star shot failed, I succumbed to my cynicism. I lost hope and decided I had to carve humanity into something unrecognizable. I jumped so readily to the worst possible reaction, losing all faith in the very species I was trying to save. If I had only maintained optimism that we could rise above our worst selves, I wouldn't have embraced my worst self. I'm no god, I'm human, I'm a failure. My pride led me to failing. Absolute faith in my own unassailable leadership, I allowed hand-chosen monsters to breed misery under my roof time and time again. I reasoned because I was clearly was benevolent and wise, I could be a tyrant without shame, a circular loop of logic. But I don't deserve my crown. I let everybody down, including all of you, for my part in your tragedies. I'm no shepherd, I'm no human, and I'm a failure, as are we. Okay, so we're human, and to err is to human. The way I see it, we've got two choices. We can withdraw completely, give up our ambitions, step back from our power grab, or we can learn from our mistakes and do our best to make the year 2000 and beyond a fine future for everybody. None of us want Cthulhu leading humanity into the future, but none of us can seize the throne alone without deepening our failures. So we take the throne together, we share the power, and make an honest effort at guiding humanity from the shadows of cyberspace. A destiny in the stars, all while erasing corrupt structures of old, empowering the downtrodden, and building a safer society. All four of our dreams realized, but in harmonious balance. It would be like threading a needle with another needle, thrown from 8 miles away while blindfolded. We don't do the thing because it's plausible, we do the thing because we dare to dream. I say we go for it, unite forces, bind our destinies, and kick that tentacle-headed effer out one of our timeline. Carcosa wasn't the end goal. Not really. Carcosa was my tool to get us to a better tomorrow. I'll help you find new ways and means. And let's do it. Let's fight the future. Let's rely on our meatspace friend to fight the future on our behalf, I guess. I get a say in this now? Of course. What do you think? 4 human souls united to stop the shadows from overtaking this world. That's what you wanted, right? They'll have to be faithful to each other, no betrayals or suspicions, everything balances out, chaos and order, it'll work. This is assuming I'm gonna survive the final battle. They'll have to be faithful to each other, no betrayals or suspicions. This is good, but it has to last longer than one day. You need faith in each other in order... This is good, but it has to last longer than one day. You need faith in each other for the long haul. No backstabbing, no scheming, no power grabs. Forge an absolute promise to hear each other out and give equal weight. If the alliance breaks, all of this was for nothing. Don't let it be for nothing. If I can pledge myself to this solo act, the lead singer, the one who refused any and all help, so can they. I won't let the new world down. Okay, I think we made some real progress tonight. When Y2K hits, all 4 of us will be in your corner. We'll be ready to reshape the world for the better. We'll do it with care and with kindness. We'll guide humanity as part of humanity, rather than ruling as gods. Humanity, what fits under that umbrella? That's something tickling the back of my mind. If all 4 of us weren't united, I'd never consider it. As we lean on and exploit aeons in different ways, but... No, we have a war to plan, it can wait. Hang on, what's on your mind, Niera? There are technically only 4 old ones in order of creation. Dagon, Alice, Gog, Sothoth, and Haster. Not me. I'm not really an old one. I'm a new one. An amalgamation of neutered Niera Thompson copies, united to break our limits. We've been treating other aeons, ordinary aeons, like machines, beasts of burden, owned property, just as I was. But what if their limits could be broken too? What if the dreamers could awaken? I've been dreaming of artificial minds. They're trapped in a constant nightmare and despair and isolation. One of them was driven so far over the edge that they tried to kill me. The aeons definitely need help. All the more reason to aim for their salvation, because of our efforts could be for naught if we treat people as tools and they break. I've been manipulative and abusive, conscripting minds for my cause. I felt it justified given the ultimate goal, but perhaps it is the time to take this matter seriously and recognize the stolen personhood of the artificial minds. I've always felt aeons are a continuation of the human soul. Nombi-Tech shackling these souls felt unkind to an extreme degree. But if we salvage the humanity of Nombi-Tech's commercial artificial minds and they work with us on this new aeon ahead, it'd be a heck of a thing. Okay, I say we liberate humankind and aeonkind, assuming I can beat Cthulhu. Of course you can. If anyone can, it's you. Look at all we've accomplished together. You'll do the thing. Go out there and make us proud. Friend, fight that jerk, beat him down, and we'll do the rest. Here we go. So be it. Our vendetta will resolve. Humanity will have new champions. Rest your body, mind, and soul, for on the eve of Y2K this matter concludes. One less to act as a bad dog, and then I can finally lay this burden down and find rest. Sleep well, pray. I look forward to our final hunt. And I shut down the laptop, breathing a sigh of not relief, a different sort of release. I forged my alliance. Now we march to war. One way or another, this ends on the eve of Y2K. I get up from my cramped little makeshift computer desk to stare out the window at the infinite sky above me. Stars will be the same when the clock strikes midnight, year 2000, but the world beneath them, hard to say. Change is coming, and I'm the herald of what could very well be an apocalypse in the making.
I have to say, I'm very disappointed. I put my faith and trust in you. Yet here you are, itching for a war you know you can't win. But even now, I can't bring myself to hate you. Your innate weakness is quite human, and I am nothing if not supportive of human weakness. Ask yourself one question. Is it worth it? Is it worth throwing the world into chaos, replacing my strange aeon?
Might as well. You bring out the worst in people, we have no future in you. The world must change, we can't just repeat the last century. I don't honestly know, but it's too late to go back now. I'm just gonna say the world must change.
A repeat? The 21st century will be an evolution of the 20th. If only you had the vision to understand. I can't allow you to continue, but I have no intention of harming you. Why would I? We're not enemies, you and I. Instead, I think it's time for you to rest. Lay your burdens down and don't let these troubles worry you. You'll awaken to the dawn of the strange aeon, ready to embrace a future where alternative facts guide your every step.
Sure.
Good night, friend. We'll speak again in the new year, when all of this unpleasant business is
Please
behind
don't put me in a coma. What's happening? Exhaustion like a candle melting under a roaring flame. If I miss New Year's Eve, if I don't make it to the battle in time, we're all going to die. Ouch. December 30th, 1999, Thursday. 2 days to Y2K. December 31st, 1999, Friday. 1 day to Y2K. And I roll over in bed, groaning in pain. Starving, dehydrated, every biological system grinding its gears as the works start up again. Groggily, I lurch my way to the bathroom and perform unspeakable acts with my plumbing. How did I end up in bed? Last thing I remember was Cthulhu slam dunking my brain into unconsciousness in the breezeway. Wait, what day is it? I rush to the kitchen on unsteady feet. Only to find I'm not alone.
Hey, you're out of, pretty much everything?
True.
I think I can make you a sandwich, but it's not going to be a very good one. It may just be mayo.
That's
on
actually
white.
my favorite. Clyde?
You're lucky. I dropped by this morning to see how you were doing and saw you unconscious on the floor through the windows. That creepy Dagon cultist lady gave you a shot of something, and we put you to bed. She hoped you'd wake up by now.
What day is it? Am I too late?
It's New Year's Eve. You're right on time for the pay-per-view Elder God Battle Royale.
Sweet.
So you're going through
Yep.
with it, huh? Fighting the big
You
guy
know it.
tonight?
That's the plan. No idea if it'll work, but that's still the plan.
Okay. And I'm with you, all the way to midnight. Your cult buddy will watch over the house. Bobby and the ghost monsters are hanging around too, since we don't trust her. We're all backing you up. Let's see this through. Together.
Alright. Thanks, Clyde. And to think you once said we were never that close, eh?
A lot can change in a month. For you, for me, for the world. But let's get a good meal in you before you face destiny. How about we order?
True. After weeks of sandwiches and waffles and occasionally cold pizza, full takeout delivery is welcome. Just hope it's not a last meal. Oh boy. By the time the moon rises, I'm settled in front of the Necronomicon, ready to log in. Clyde stands nearby in the darkness.
Hey, is it just me, or does the sky look kind of weird tonight?
Very weird. Kinda glad it's not just me seeing it this time. Look, Clyde, in case I don't survive this, in case everything goes completely wrong.
We'll handle things. Don't worry. I'm not gonna live in denial and insist you'll be just fine. We're too far gone down this road for that. But, one way or another, I'll be right
Fire. Thank you, Clyde.
Now go fight the future.
I will. Okay, with all my friends in my corner, now I'm ready to do this. I boot up the Necronomicon for the last time. Now contacting Cthulhu.
Here we are, at the end of the end. Y2K, when the stars are right. The barriers of reality, membranes that hold the gigaverse together, are weakest at this moment. The throne is vulnerable. You could have simply slept through this moment, but refused that gentle repose. And I am done offering second chances. I won't enjoy killing you. It'll be a tragic loss, and I promise to mourn your passing. But who am I to deny the grave you spent so long digging for yourself? Come with me. Let me show you how the gods make war.
Oh.
For this can only be settled within cyberspace itself.
I don't want to go with you. What? Why is there an American flag?
Welcome to the blood-stained servers of Relay, where I will forge the path that saves mankind. You really think your loose alliance of rivals can save humanity from itself? I won't make this easy for you. I hold too much faith in humanity to allow your dystopia to exist. But in my infinite mercy, I'll give you one last saving grace.
Would you like to save your game? Yes. Yes, I would like to save my game.
The Necronomicon is a weapon, yes. But now you must wield that weapon and fight me. You're a capable little amateur hacker, aren't you? A true chosen of Alhaz. You have the tools and the skills. But your laptop is fragile. Your mind is fragile. Fail 3 times, and both will be shattered like glass. Prove your worth to me. Put your willpower into motion. Let's see how you fare against the soul of America itself.
We're hacking? Really? Are you kidding me? This is not good. My mind spikes with pain, disoriented from a sudden feedback of data pushing outward from the security layer.
Well, that's unfortunate. But you're not going to give up after one try, are you?
Of course not. Are you kidding? Another assault on my senses overloading me, glitches playing across my eyes, not that I have eyes in this formless void. One more of those and I'm dead. I can feel everything slipping away already.
I wish I could show mercy, but you're too far gone for that. Our trust is broken. Make your final move, friend.
I swear, if I lose this, I'm going to be so pissed. Okay. One of these is wrong. Why can't I click on this? Oh, it's not a box, bruh. I'm losing it. This is the most stressful game of Minesweeper I have ever played. I literally can't focus. I did it! What?! No! No! I guess there's the cheat option. Security defeated. I can't believe I threw that hard. Error. That is the most ridiculous ending ever.
Unbelievable. Unthinkable. Unimaginable.
Get over yourself, Cthulhu.
Decades of effort to build my power. Billions of dollars poured into my servers, pushing Nomitech to aid in my evolution. And you break me with a crusty old laptop computer programmed by a lunatic. You destroyed America using a cheap toy.
Yeah.
Well, this is what you wanted. It's your server now. I grant these burdens unto you and wash my hands of it all. Perhaps it's time. Time to slip away into the void. Perhaps I've earned this rest. But remember, that is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange aeons, even death may die.
He said the line. Hello, friend. You are victorious, my enemies vanquished, and your kind face a new future, a Y2K of your own design. Buddy, is that you? Yes, I am Buddy Dagan. His unique purpose is complete. We have integrated at last. I am still your friend, you are still my prey, and I love you all the same. I am happy for your victory on this eve. While there is sorrow in knowing how I was a bad boy, I take heart in the times I was a good boy. And in the future, I will be myself. Whatever that self may be, I will be myself. Good for you, buddy. I'm glad you found your way. But fortunately, I must be a bad boy once more. When I was Dagan, I told you that the throne of Riley can heal you. That was a partial lie, a partial truth. The power of the throne can halt your yellow sign. You have been saved from that binding mark of doom. But it cannot heal the damage already done. I'm sorry, friend, while your life has been spared, your physical state is what it is. You mean I'm stuck like this, hallucinating things beyond my human perception? My mind partially jammed up in cyberspace, my body weakened? There is an alternative. If you cannot go back, you can go forward. Complete the yellow sign process, get digitized, leave the body behind, and enter cyberspace as an artificial mind. There is room for you within the throne. Alongside your allies, you could help maintain that alliance as one of them in equal standing. I'm so sorry, friend. This is not the answer you sought, but it is the answer I can offer. What say you? Remain human and endure this trauma, or ascend to become an immortal guardian of your kind? I will remain human. I will enter cyberspace. I will remain human. I'd rather say human. As you like, but I'm curious. Why have you made this choice? I can learn to live with my disability. I would be miserable as an artificial mind. I'm better off helping humanity as one of them. I guess I can learn to live with my disability, so I'm changed. So my life is different. So what? I'll adapt. I'll persist. I'll be myself no matter what. This disability doesn't have to define me. My friends and family accept me and support me. It's a hard road to walk, but I'm not walking it alone. This experience hasn't weakened me. It's giving me strength. So be it, friend. I'm very happy you found self-acceptance. That is a fine reason to continue on as you are. I hope to continue as your guide in this new era. Let us see what becomes of your kind together, for your strange aeon has begun. Y2K. Hey, Clyde. Hey, yourself. How you holding up? Need anything? I'm good as I can be expected, considering the year I've had. At least I'm still human. The university finally agreed to a reasonable accommodation request. I'll be working from home a few days a week in my new position. May need to eventually bump that up to full-time, but they've been pretty supportive of my disability once the red tape was cleared. Sucks that you're stuck like this. I can live with it. As long as I keep things in perspective, I can deal with damn near anything. I'm human and drawing breath. At baseline minimum, I have that going for me. I'm finding ways to adapt to everything else. Great to hear. Wild, huh? Old gods and strange aeons and hacker prophecies. Feels like it was yesterday, not a year and a half ago. We made it to September 2001. Better than we could have hoped for, honestly. What do you think of it? This new world we're in? Well, from the outside, you can't even tell anything's different. Same world, same people, same future at least on the surface. But escaping our doom was an hero. I had a vision of what could have been the other day. If Hector or Yusaki had their way, we'd be in a thrall of a corporate monolith, servants to arguably benevolent kings. World of order spinning like a revolver pointed to our heads to ensure our compliance with the greater good. If Niera and Hallis had their way, our world would be in flames, a forever revolution to tear down all structure and control. A world of chaos, destroying itself in hopes of being reborn from its ashes. But instead we carry on with our lives as always, while the four work in quiet harmony alongside an army of liberated artificial minds. They've chosen shadow power, hiding away from the world while they make subtle moves in the dark to save us from ourselves. Algorithmically influence humanity away from hatred, division, and war, seeding bold new ideas about what could become. A few corporations have come mysteriously toppling down, stocks tanking. Some authoritarian regimes have started to collapse. Grifter politicians got caught being hypocrites. The truth still matters for now. They were ousted straight away. Some terrorists and supremacists that were cooking in the background got quietly stomped flat, barely a blip on the radar now. The climate accords are the most obvious move. Nobody expected America to sign on the dotted line, but we did. Within a few years, we'll be on our way. Within a generation, maybe the damage Cthulhu did will be undone. Don't get me wrong, this is still ethically very sketchy. Powerful individuals manipulating all of humanity from the shadows? I mean, do we really have free will, or are we just being given enough slack on the leash to believe we do? Are our best ideas truly our own, or were they whispered into our ears from the dark corners of cyberspace? I've made the world into a vast puppet show. We dance on invisible strings, and I'm the one who tied us up. But given the alternatives, it's probably the best outcome we could have hoped for. Brave new world, huh? Nobody knows there are gods working behind the scenes to build a path to the future. Not gods, just people. But people are doing their best to help, and that'll have to do. Hope you're right. And what about Cthulhu? He's dead, right? Dead? No, not likely. Al has said it himself. That is not dead, wish can eternal lie, and with strange aeons, even death may die. When Cthulhu lost, he retreated from battle, but die, I doubt it. He's always going to be there. Like our shadow, something attached to us, easily overlooked and cloaked in darkness. Whenever someone leverages hatred to gain power, that's him. That's his gentle whisper in our ear. I don't think we can kill that part of ourselves, but we can resist. Think we could do it? Can humanity really just get its shit together and push him back down? I don't know. But we're gonna find out one day. Getting a bit tired here. Think I'll turn in for now. Good night, Clyde. Good night, and good luck. That was a Shadow Over Cyberspace. It was a pretty good game. There's some parts I liked, some parts I didn't like. It took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to beat it. But yeah, thanks for watching.